Psalm 31 is a heartfelt prayer for deliverance and refuge in times of trouble. The psalmist begins by expressing his trust in God, affirming Him as his rock and fortress, and pleading for God's deliverance. He asks God to rescue him from his enemies and to provide a place of refuge and safety. The psalmist appeals to God's righteousness and asks Him to lead and guide him along the path of truth. The psalmist reflects on his distress and affliction, acknowledging his need for God's mercy and forgiveness. He describes the anguish of his soul and his sorrow over his sin, expressing his desire for God to be gracious and to hear his cry for help. Despite his suffering, the psalmist maintains his trust in God's faithfulness and his ability to rescue him from his troubles. In the midst of his prayer, the psalmist affirms his confidence in God's sovereignty and providence. He acknowledges God as his refuge and strength, affirming his trust that God will deliver him from his enemies and vindicate his cause. The psalmist expresses his gratitude for God's goodness and mercy, declaring his trust in God's power to save. The psalm concludes with a declaration of praise and thanksgiving to God. The psalmist affirms his trust in God's unfailing love and his belief that God will answer his prayers and grant him victory over his enemies. He resolves to continue praising God and trusting in His provision and protection. Psalm 31 serves as a powerful expression of faith and trust in God's deliverance and mercy, inspiring readers to turn to Him in times of trouble and to find strength and hope in His presence. Let's now read Psalms chapter 31. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. In Thee, O Lord, do I put my trust, let me never be ashamed, deliver me in Thy righteousness. Bow down thine ear to me, deliver me speedily, be Thou my strong rock, for an house of defense to save me. For Thou art my rock and my fortress, therefore for Thy name's sake lead me, and guide me. Pull me out of the net that they have laid privily for me, for Thou art my strength. Into Thine hand I commit my spirit, Thou hast redeemed me, O Lord God of truth. I have hated them that regard lying vanities, but I trust in the Lord. I will be glad and rejoice in Thy mercy, for Thou hast considered my trouble, Thou hast known my soul in adversities. And hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy, Thou hast set my feet in a large room. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am in trouble, mine eye is consumed with grief, yea, my soul and my belly. For my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing, my strength faileth because of mine iniquity, and my bones are consumed. I was a reproach among all mine enemies, but especially among my neighbors, and a fear to mine acquaintance, they that did see me without fled from me. I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind, I am like a broken vessel. For I have heard the slander of many, fear was on every side, while they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. But I trusted in Thee, O Lord, I said, Thou art my God. My times are in Thy hand, deliver me from the hand of mine enemies, and from them that persecute me. Make Thy face to shine upon Thy servant, save me for Thy mercy's sake. Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon Thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave. Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. O how great is Thy goodness, which Thou hast laid up for them that fear Thee, which Thou hast wrought for them that trust in Thee before the sons of men. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of Thy presence from the pride of man, Thou shalt keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues. Blessed be the Lord, for He hath showed me His marvelous kindness in a strong city. For I said in my haste, I am cut off from before Thine eyes, nevertheless Thou heardest the voice of my supplications when I cried unto Thee. O love the Lord, all ye His saints, for the Lord preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Be of good courage, and He shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. This ends our reading of Psalms chapter 31.